Hi, everybody. Melissa Klein here, or Liz. And I wanted to do a little sort of video as we're heading into the holidays, and just kind of touch base and say hi, that kind of thing. Um, and as you know, it's been a really intense week for me. Sometimes that it just happens where you just have all sorts of things come from all different directions, and feels like you're just trying to stay on top of it just best you can. And that was it for me. Uh, on a happy note, I did take the time to spend 3 days in this sort of online Zoom retreat with Christine Kane, who is a business coach that I worked with several years ago. And she just came up with a book, and I haven't finished reading it, just started it. But if you bought the book, you could go to this retreat. And because I knew the value of what she's offered, and have participated in her stuff and paid a lot of money to participate in it, I was like, yeah, what the hell? I'm going to go to this thing. And it was really, really good. It got me sort of thinking about some of the things that I blogged about, and some of the things that I could be doing a lot better. And about midway through, it was a 3-day retreat, and on the second day, I just really kind of hit some walls. I was falling into the comparison trap. And I was like, I was just feeling really, really inadequate, and a lot of sort of shame and blame, like, oh my God, I should be farther along. Some of these women are throwing around 6-figure numbers, and some of the women that were kind of her poster children or people that I'd gone to lunch with and hung out with and knew that they had, lots of issues. It's not like they were just like, oh, so I knew these are real living human beings, and they had gone on to do really, really well, when I feel like I'm still kind of figuring it out and struggling and blah, blah, blah. And so I texted Sharon because I figured that Sharon would understand, what this is, because it's a very high powered kind of, you're with a lot of very motivated and many very impressive, mostly women. And and she gave me this challenge, which was that you to write down 25 things that you're proud of in this, that you've accomplished this past year. And I'm not done my list yet, Sharon, so please don't give me hell about it. I've got still till tomorrow to do my homework review, I think, in my mind. But the thing that I am the most proud of is this class in this whole year. Like, this is the group, and you're our little core group, and people do come and go a little bit, but this are basically our core group. To think that we almost started the year together sometime in, for most of us. And we definitely started the pandemic together, and that we have frigging weathered this pandemic for pretty much about 9 months at this point. I didn't really think about it before, but that's, obviously a gestation period, for a human. And I feel like we've come so far in what we've accomplished. I feel like just the pleasure of seeing you guys go from, just very basic or beginner drawings, which I think is fine, to creating some really advanced skilled drawings, but also, and the and on this is, and having fun with it. Like we've managed to have, my hair is doing something weird. And we've had a lot of fun with it along the way. Like, even when Diane and Susie are drinking and cursing me out, they're having fun making fun of me. Or our Zoom lessons, even when it gets intense, there's still like a lot of laughter with it. And I'm so grateful for that. And that has been really an anchor. In fact, for me, there's been an element of like, well, you can't really not keep your shit together, because you have to hold your shit together for your art class, because you can't. And there's been times, especially in the beginning, that I just felt like, you know, like many people are, you just like, oh, I just want to hide under my bed. Why? You know, and then of course the pandemic fatigue of like, you know, kind of doing better for a while, and then all of a sudden, you know, um, and so, but what was great was having this touchstone of this is what we do. And we can talk about it to a point, but let's go and focus on what's cool. Let's, you know, and let's use some of that energy to fuel our creative fire. Um, and, you know, another thing that came up is Christina quoted Maya Angelou in this quote in the seminar, and that got me kind of curious about thinking about Maya Angelou. And I'm embarrassed to admit I have not read any of her books, and so that's my one of my to-do list bucket lists for 2021. Read one of her books. But I did have the privilege of meeting her when I was in high school. It was one of those weird, like, friend of a friend, somebody knew her who was connected to her in my class, and she came and visited my high school, which was a really small private high school, and all girls, and mostly white, mostly like really, really waspy white girls. Like, you think I'm waspy? Oh my God, I am so not waspy compared to, in fact, that's part of why everybody thought I was Jewish, because I'm not like as waspy as the waspy things. And in fact, there is sort of a legend. I haven't really verified this, but I have heard this since I was in high school, that apparently Springside, that's the name of my high school, there was like a Springside field trip to New York City, because we're in Philadelphia, New York, you could do it. And the legend is that Woody Allen saw like a group of Springsiders and went and made a comment like, what is this? Like the neo-Nazi girls group or something? He made some comment like that. I'll have to check with my sisters. But that's how waspy, just in case you're wondering. Anyway, back to Maya Angelou. When I met her, there was a light about that woman. There was something about that woman. You just wanted to be near her. It was weird. It was like this, and I think part of it was, of course, you know, everybody was rolling out, you know, my teachers and the administrators were rolling out the red carpet for her, but it was bigger than that. And it was the fact that she is somebody who I think, you know, embodies somebody who is risen above her difficulties, and who doesn't make excuses, and all the things we are going through are real. It's not that they don't exist, but that you can do better. um, and I found a couple of quotes that I just absolutely adored, so I just want to share them with you really quick. No, I don't. I'm not going to share them with you. No, I didn't get to share them. I'm just futzing with it. Okay, I just couldn't help that comedic thing. Okay, here we go. For real, I won't tease you. Such a dramatic pause. When you know better, you do better. And I really feel that is what I was going through in these last few days is, you know, learning and knowing better now that I know better. And I'm happy to say I'm in a really different place than I was several years ago. You know, now I'm a full-time artist. Then I was a full-time special ed teacher. That's huge growth. And then the other quote I want to share with you is this. You can't really know where you're going until you know where you have been. And to me, that is where Sharon's suggestion or dare of writing 25 things that you are proud of is just a great one, because I think that's going to help define where we want to go from here. So anywho, mwah, kissy, 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 kissy. And if, all else fails, drink wine. Okay? All right. I'll see you soon.